You're listening to The Bird Bath. This episode of The Bird Bath is brought to you by First 100, my consulting and recruiting firm focused on the business side of veterinary medicine. First 100 works with veterinary groups, animal health companies, and industry platforms to help hire the leaders who move business forward. From executive leadership to partnership, growth, and operational roles, the approach is simple. Industry-informed recruiting built by someone who works in this market every day and stays close to what's happening across it. If your organization is hiring or planning to hire this year, you can learn more at first100.io. That's FIRST100.io, or click the link in the show notes. Welcome back to The Bird Bath. Each week we scrape the surface of the news you need to know, so let's get into it. Kicking us off this week, you knew it had to be the top story. Covetrus and MWI have agreed to merge. This was the top story everyone was talking about last week. And in case you didn't read the Substack or dive into it, let's get you some of the quick hits. The deal values MWI at around $3.5 billion. Cencora, which is MWI's parent company, originally bought MWI for $2.5 billion back in 2015. In the deal here, they're going to get a mix of cash and equity, leaving them with about a 34% minority stake in the new merged company. Now, don't expect a lot of fireworks and big news to be breaking until after September, because Cencora has said that they're expecting the deal to close after their fiscal year ends this year, which is in September. So lots of big things. Everyone has an opinion on what's going on here. And if you want the full strategic breakdown, talking about distribution, consolidation, and what I think it means for the vet space, head over to our Substack for the deep dive. Big news from across the pond. Cambridge Vet School was saved from closure by the voices of the students. The University of Cambridge General Board had decided in December and announced in December that they were planning to close the Department of Veterinary Medicine, which at Cambridge is in the School of Biological Sciences. And the idea here was that the college just wasn't making sense. The department wasn't pulling together the financials. They didn't feel like they had the right leadership, and they were in a tough spot on accreditation. Now, after making that announcement, it blew up. Students took to the streets. The 20 different organizations across the UK raised their hand and said, don't do this, as well as the Royal College of Veterinary Science, which is the British AVMA. Just think of them like that if you want. And they even said, hey, don't do this. We are willing to extend a conditional accreditation for another year, giving you all the chance to put things back together. Well, the school mulled on it. They talked through a lot of things. Students weren't getting admission letters. People were making new plans of where they wanted to go. But at the last minute here, the general board had a long conversation, and they released an announcement as the streets filled with protests, saying that the university will continue to admit students onto the course. As they said in their statement here, offer letters will go out imminently for students to enter the course this autumn. Now, they're not just going at it and keeping things as the standard course here. They're saying both the department and the school recognize there's a need for new leadership in the vet school, and it needs to be put in place to support the department in addressing its many challenges, and that transition should begin. The general board looked through a lot of different things, and they're planning to make some big changes about what's going on at the school. In their statement, they said further analysis supported by external experts is required to develop and evaluate alternative models for the future of veterinary education in Cambridge. The general board will hold the vet school to account and keep the Regent House informed on progress. So they're keeping the doors open, they're bringing students in, but they are keeping them on a very, very tight leash. I think they're expecting lots of things to be changing at the University of Cambridge, and the Department of Veterinary Medicine is going to be on the hot seat to earn this continued spot in the roster. If you're looking for spots in the roster, look at how I'm tying this together. God, I'm good. you should be looking at some relief management relief platforms, right? I wasn't as good as I thought I was. All right, Serenity Vet, which is a subscription-based relief management platform, has released a new AI-powered feature designed to help vets set and negotiate their pay with confidence. This is something that I've come across. I've sold alongside and to veterinarians, and price negotiations are always a really difficult thing. I think the things that drive veterinarians to be passionate and compassionate within this industry also make it really tough sometimes to really give themselves the full value and the pay that they deserve for their work. So the new tool that Serenity Vet's rolled out is allowing them to see a predictability score and average cost for similar shifts in their area right when they apply for a job, and allows them to negotiate their rates. The idea here is that it gives them a real-time snapshot of the likelihood of being booked at different pay levels based on the specific shift details. They get to see how the timing, location, duration, times of procedures, and all of those things will affect their pay rate, and they can adjust their desired rate and see instantly the predictability score update. So it's really a way for them to be able to zone in on what the best number is to be able to book the most opportunities while being able to fit this relief work into the schedule that they want. The AI predictability score goes both ways here as well. So there's also a clinic-facing side of things so that clinics can optimize the way that they're listing their shifts. The version guides the clinics on how adjustments to pay, hours, and job requirements can improve their fill rates and attract top talent. So cool stuff here. I think it's great to see some innovation around the relief platforms. It's been something that a lot of people have been looking at ways to be able to staff different team members, and relief is always a great way for doctors and teams to be able to feel engaged in different parts of their work, as well as allowing practices to adapt to the changes of demand that they're seeing. So kudos to Serenity Vet. I think this is a really cool new way that we're seeing people tackle relief. Spot Pet Insurance announced it has reached 1 million customers nationwide. And the thing that they're putting in there is they're talking about an increased demand in care, and they're talking about faster access to care. Spot says that they've reimbursed more than $450 million, and they're processing an average of 630 claims per day. Now, putting that into sort of context here, Trupanion announced that it had enrolled its 1 millionth subscription pet in February of 2024. So February, oh my gosh, I was going to say last year. That was 2 years ago. Across and that's for their North America and European brands. And that was after 25 years in business. Spot's been in business about 6 years, or they've been on the market for about 6 years. So we're seeing companies that are really hitting that million pet mark a lot quicker. Spot definitely jumped to it several years ahead, but lots of pets are getting insured in this sense. Embrace announced that they had reached 500,000 pets in 2024. FIGO announced that it had surpassed 200,000 pets at the end of 2024. And Pets Best, quite a while back in 2022, had hit its 500,000th pet. Overall, at the industry level, though, NAFIA, which is the North American Pet Health Insurance Association, reported a little over 7 million pets insured across North America in 2024. And they said the market had exceeded $5.2 billion in written premiums. So it's something that I guess we're starting to see growth in this. They said there was a 12% increase in the number of pets that were insured in North America. So it is something that's seeing some growth, and it's something that brings us back to this cost of care discussion. And it's something that we're going to continue hearing about, I think, throughout the year. We're seeing flipbacks on the tariff laws. We're seeing cost being heavily considered and discussed in all facets of life. And I think this is one of those things where the insurance companies could be in an interesting spot to be able to take advantage of some of this. Additionally, the cost of insurance may be seeing a way of going down. I actually met one of the first people that I had met in person that had lost their job to AI. One of the large pet insurance companies notified quite a bit of their staff that's doing the policy adjustments that they are going to be replacing that staff with AI. So they're reducing the overhead at some of these insurance companies, which in turn should Hopefully it doesn't just increase their profits, but it should, in hopes, reduce the cost of pet insurance so that we can see an increase of pets getting insured. Now, I'm not jumping on the bandwagon here of pet insurance being the saving grace for the industry, but it is something that's interesting that we could see the cost of pet insurance coming down, and that could in turn reduce the impact on people's pockets as the cost of care continues to be impacted by the overall economy and all the things that are going on in the world. Finally, if you're looking for a way to maybe ease the trouble in your pocket a little bit, maybe add some cash back into your pocketbook. How many times can I say pocket in one sentence here? PetBux is a new program that was launched nationwide. It's a cashback marketplace. They're positioning themselves as a way to earn cash back on pet food, treats, supplements, and other essentials by clicking through to participating brands and buying directly on those brand sites. Now, if you're saying, Ryan, I feel like I've heard of this before. Well, it's not a new idea. Affiliate marketing sites are extremely popular. Honey, Rakuten, Aboda, which is exclusively in the grocery vertical. A lot of these sites and a lot of these marketplaces exist, and a lot of them sort of tackle it with either a plugin or a portal. I know I use it for airline miles, and it's kind of a way that people find the opportunity to be able to save some money by taking that affiliate marketing piece and be able to put some of that back in their pocket. So PetBux is saying that it's not even requiring a subscription. It's not requiring any additional things. All you have to do is have an account, and they will pay you back directly via PayPal or Zelle. They've got a ton of companies already on the platform here. One that stuck out, Ollie's offering $45 cash back. They've got lots of different food brands on the site and large cashback offers actually from a lot of these companies. So definitely something to look at and think about. Now, from my research digging into this, they just launched, so I'm giving them some time to get it together here. But the way that a lot of these drive business is to take you directly to the site. So if you're looking at, let's say, Fi Smart Collar, they're going to be giving you cash back by ordering it directly through Fi. There's not the opportunity to use Chewy or Amazon or any of these other sources that you want to use, or shopping through your vet. And so this is a way that could distribute some of your purchasing, but it is also an idea to allow you to put some money back. We're seeing people are spending more and more on their pets. And if you could be seeing 5, 6, 10, 15% cash back on some of these purchases, and stacking that along with what you're making on your credit card points and all those sort of things, it could be a great way that people start to see some savings. So I think it's kind of cool. I'm going to sign up and check it out and see what it does. Now, not to throw an additional layer here, but it is really interesting when you look at this. And if you want to Google some of the history on a Substack, when we launched it, it was one of our early stories. We covered the story around honey and how honey is sometimes providing these discount codes, but they are not the same discount that someone would see themselves, and they're layering over additional referral credits and things like that. So hopefully PetBux has read the sordid tales of honey and are going to be bringing this in a very clear and transparent way. But I think it could be cool, and I think it's something that the industry could really latch themselves on and find a way to continue to grow with. For more on these and other stories, you can always join us by subscribing to our Substack. There's a link in the bio. And don't miss out on any episodes by subscribing. Now, this is going to be a special shout out here. If you made it to the end, take a minute to go into your favorite podcast platform and rate the show. Give us a 5-star, put in some words in there. It's the best way for the platforms to share the show to other people. We want to get the Bird Bath out to as many people as possible in 2026, and you are a big part of that. For the Bird Bath, I'm Ryan Leach. See you next week.